Alright guys, so we're going bobber dogging today. And I'm just going to try to show you a complete guide basically to bobber dogging and how I do it. So I'm going to show you my rod here first. I use the Kuma Guide Select Pros. Are really sweet rods. You can get them at, like a lot of your fishing stores, Sportsman's Warehouse, Fisherman's Marine, stuff like that. I'm sure like Bass Pro Shops might carry them, but most of your fishing retailers carry them. My local little fishing store does, and I can get pretty good deals on them. So they're nice rods. This one here is a 9'9". This one is rated 6 to 12 pounds. So it's a perfect light little steelhead rod. It's not super heavy. It's not going to overpower fish, but has some backbone if you need it. So this one got a Shimano Curado on here. Then on there I got high vis braid. I love fishing the high vis braid. You can really see it good. Cross the river, tell where your line is at, tell if you need to mend or not. That's I think 30 pound. I usually run 30 or 40 pound. Down to my setup. Anyway, I got bobber stop, which is right here up my line. And I was bobber dogging. You're letting your setup drag, so my bobber stop is usually pretty far up. I always run it about a foot deeper than the hole. So if I'm fishing 6 foot of water, I'm gonna have my bobber stop up about 7 feet. Just so that way I know that lead is on the bottom. So then I use a bead underneath that bobber stop. A bobber dogging float. You don't have to use them, but it makes it easier. These big thick floats that are cut in half, they really catch the current good, and they pull your gear down the river. They really do help. Then I go down, have another bead here, have another bobber stop underneath, and that's just so if my lead here breaks off, it's hopefully going to break at my knot, and that bobber I will save. And then I have a 3-way swivel system right there, clipped onto, that's a Dave's Tangle Free, but you could use anything. I have pencil lead here, this is my little box. I have pencil lead here that I keep cut. So yeah, that 3-way system there, you can clip on your weight and change it really easily. Then my leader, and now for leaders, you can run all sorts of things. Like here I have a bead. A bead I'll probably be fishing today pretty often. And then here's an example of another thing I might run. This is a yarny with a bead dropper. There's a yarny, and then tied down below it is a bead. Don't know how good you can really see that, but a yarny, and then I have a leader that runs down to this bead. And so it's a double setup. I can throw a little piece of shrimp or a little bit of eggs on that yarn, and that's a killer combo there. Or you can run straight beads or straight yarnies, whatever. But anyway, that's kind of a quick little rundown of the setup. I will see you out on the river where I talk about fishing. So got to the river, putting on this double bead rig that I showed you this morning, or not double bead, but a yarny and a bead. Water looks beautiful. Beautiful. It's like perfect steelhead water. But we're gonna see, so not deep enough at all. So I'm gonna have to adjust. But right now, if you see my float, hopefully you can see that. See how it's kind of more vertical, more up and down fishing. Now when I'm bobber dogging, that is not what I want. When I'm bobber dogging, you want that float to be laying sideways. So I'm gonna adjust that bobber stop. Shouldn't be more than like 5-6 feet deep right here. So I'm throwing upstream, letting my bait and my gear sink, and that's taking a little bit. So I need to go a little bit deeper. That's tapping bottom, looks like a little bit. Then it shallows out right there. Alright. Just need to go just a wee bit deeper. There we go. So now, throw up. In this place, when I'm stationary on the bank, I'll throw upstream. And you see that bobber, how it's laying on its side, pointed downstream. The orange part is pointed downriver, and I can see it kind of bouncing, dragging along the bottom. That is what you want. You know, and that bobber is just dragging that bait. In this case I have a yarnie and a bead. It's just dragging that right along the bottom. And right here I don't need to throw it very far. There's a ledge right here. And this is where I was salmon fishing a lot. Is on this ledge right here. I mean, it's not very far out at all. That's where all the salmon would come up, and these steelhead as well. A little piece of coon shrimp, or I've got a little jar of coon shrimp here. I'm gonna grab one out and go ahead and put a little bit on my hook. So what I do with the coon shrimp is I take them, and small ones like this work beautiful for this technique and for steelhead fishing. Pop the head off, and you got this little tail, just this little coon shrimp tail. And I'm going to take that and just hook it, if I can show you here. And I got a little yarnie up here, which is a little bit tangled up, but little yarnie right there. And I'm going to take this and just go right into the meat of the shrimp and whack, just like that. A little bit of yarn, piece of shrimp, and then it drops down to a bead. So I hope you enjoyed that short little video. I wanted to make it longer and have some more information about bobber dogging, but didn't work out, so that's kind of where it ends right there. I did continue to fish and didn't catch anything, which is sad, but kind of how my whole steelhead season is going, is fishing and grinding and not catching anything. But anyway, more videos to come. Hopefully you enjoyed this little tutorial. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you liked the video, make sure you hit the like button. You want to see more of my content, or you got any ideas for me, subscribe, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.